Pleasant day to all of you. We are the Group 1 and we are here to discuss the birth of ethics. But before that, let me introduce first to you our group members, starting with Francisco Rueben, Gualvez Norman, Guzman Cris Ivan, Llesis Jackylyn, Rojas Gabrielle, Pis-an Daphne Louise, Santa Ana Jaezel, Tagalog Ashley, and I, Javier Marielle Mikaela P. Let us now proceed to the discussion. The birth of ethics. Let me begin with philosophy because we all know that ethics is one of the major branches of philosophy. According to research, it is the study of the major general and abstract features of the world and categories with which we think: mind, matter, reason, proof, and truth. It is also a theoretical basis of a particular branch in which it seeks to establish evidence and provides method to resolving conflicts. Philosophy comes from the Greek word philo, which means love, and sophia, which means wisdom, or simply philosophy is the love of wisdom. Next are the branches of philosophy, starting with number 1, politics, number 2, aesthetics, number 3, science, number 4, religion, number 5, epistemology, number 6, logic, number 7, metaphysics, and of course, number 8, ethics. These 8 major branches of philosophy perform different purposes and essence in which they make sense in different area of their scope in terms of their definition, works, and problems to be studied and resolved through the academic discipline of each branch. Now, let us move on to the introduction of ethics to be discussed by Ms. Jackylyn Llesis.
Ethics, often known as moral philosophy, is a philosophical field that involves systematizing, defending, and advocating conception of right and wrong behavior. The field of ethics, like aesthetics, is concerned with consideration of worth. Together, this subject compose the branch of philosophy known as axiology. At its most basic, ethics is a set of moral principles. They have an impact on how individuals make decisions and conduct their lives. Ethic, often known as moral philosophy, is concerned with what is beneficial for people and society. Example of ethics, it refers to the norms that impose reasonable obligation to refrain from rape, theft, murder, assault, defamation, and fraud.
Ethics is defined as a moral philosophy of code of morals practiced by a person or group of people. The term is also applied to any system or theory of moral values or principles. Moreover, ethics consists of the rules of behavior. It certainly defines how a person should behave in specific situations. At its simplest, ethics is a system of moral principles. They affect how people make decisions and live their lives. Ethics is concerned with what is good for individuals and society and is also described as a moral philosophy.
Now let us go to the 3 basic ethical principles. First is respect. It is the veneration every being ought to receive from one another. It is the very fabric of our civilization. Secondly, we have beneficence. This one talks about the humanitarian acknowledgement of the fact that every being has the same rights and privileges when viewed through lenses of morality. Therefore, every individual's goal and aspirations must be pushed forward with the maximum force with the least possible resistance. Lastly, you have justice. This is about who deserves what and when they deserve it. As Socrates called it, the daemon, our innate sense of right and wrong. When something bad happens, we feel bad. That's because inside us we have a sense of justice, the daemon.
Ethics seeks to resolve questions of human morality by defining concepts such as good and evil, right and wrong, virtue and vice, justice and crime. As a field of intellectual inquiry, moral philosophy is related to the fields of moral psychology, descriptive ethics, and value theory. For example, ethics seeks to resolve questions of humanity like, is it alright to laugh at a sexist joke? The answer is no. The right thing to do is to educate the wrongdoings of the people you are encountered with. Next thing you must consider is, The ATM spits out an extra 100 pesos in your favor. Keep the money and your mouth shut. That is the main point or concept of ethics. One must consider what is weighing more better between those scenarios. What is the decision you are making if there was one scenario that occurs? Will you choose to do the right thing or will you choose the other way?
In general perspective, ethics is process of moral principles. These principles have significant effect on people to make decisions and lead good quality lives. Ethics is also concerned with what is good for individual and society, and is also defined as a moral beliefs. Ethics is stemmed from the Greek word ethos, which means custom, habit, character, or disposition. Therefore, ethics could be said to cover the following dilemmas: how to live a good life, our rights and responsibilities, the language of right and wrong, moral decisions, what is good and bad.
Now, what is the essence of ethics in humans among other species? Plants, animals, and humans can all nourish and grow, but only animals and humans have the capacity for conscious awareness. It suggests that despite their inferiority to animals and humans, plants serve the needs of both. Similar to this, human beings are superior to animals because they can employ reason to guide their behavior. However, animals do not possess this capacity and must instead rely on instinct to guide their behavior. Human beings, unlike other animals, are capable of reflecting on and making judgments about our own and other people's behaviors. As a result, we can make moral decisions that are well considered. The majority of animals lack the cognitive abilities to comprehend complicated ethical rules. Instead, they learn through experience to manage their behaviors in various ways.
Examples of ethics in humanity. First one is compassion, meaning concern for the well-being of others. The second example is non-maleficence, meaning avoid inflicting suffering and hardship on others. Third one is beneficence, meeting the needs of the most vulnerable. And the last one is fairness, treating people the way they deserve to be treated.
What does ethics brought to humanity? It brought a moral system of determining the right from the wrong and the good from the bad. It gives us a capacity to understand what are the good from evil and right from wrong, and we can choose to do the wrong or the right thing. It serves as a guide to moral daily living of every individual and help us judge whether our behavior can be justified. And it is a society sense of the right way of living our daily lives. Ethics help us to do the right thing, showing goodness and telling truth. For example, you saw your best friend cheating on his wife and she asks you if her husband have an affair with someone. You are in difficult situation, but since you know what is right and wrong, you do the right thing by telling her the truth. Ethics brought the word respect to humanity. They are connected, and without respect, ethics will be meaningless. For example, respecting others by respecting for their physical boundaries, show empathy for our differences, and as well as respect all people who deserves it. We must be ethical because it defines who we are individually and as society. These are the codes of conduct that everyone should follow. If we accept that each of us can choose the right thing, our society could be in turmoil. Ethics give us a guide to make the world a better place through the choices we make.
And that would be all for our presentation today. We hope that you have learned something from us. Again, we are the Group 1 and we have already discussed the birth of ethics. On behalf of our group, thank you very much for listening.